This is Gramma Michele in Brazil, and I'm bringing you lots of news. What's happening in the Abel's Bible Club? Did that big boat get back in the water? What have Spunky, Wishbone, and Brownie been up to lately? That and more interesting news in this edition of Video Letter from Grandma. First of all, in Abel's, we've been having a lot of kids, especially little kids. I mean really little. And some of them pay attention and some of them don't. Papa started teaching flute recorder classes a few weeks back, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But with all the new little kids, he decided it was a good time to split up the classes. There's just one problem. Grandma doesn't really know how to play a flute recorder. But I do now. At least I know one song, and it only has 3 notes. 2 or 3 times lately, the people I thought were going to do the activities showed up with nothing to do. So I made up something. First thing I thought we could do was Duck, Duck, Goose. Have you ever played Duck, Duck, Goose? Well, these boys and girls had never done it. Making a circle just to sit down was hard enough. But when I picked somebody to be the goose, 3 people jumped up every time. They just didn't quite understand the rules. Papa, Vovo, and me, Grandma, got vaccinated recently. Yep, we got our first vaccine for the corona monster virus. So I guess now we're gonna turn into monsters. Do you remember those pictures I sent of the big boat and it got stuck because the axle on the trailer broke and then the wheels wouldn't go, so it couldn't be pushed back into the water? Well, just a few weeks ago, not very long at all, has it been days? It's not been long. The boat finally got back in the water after a lot of hard work. And how is it that I always find Papa laying around on the job? Here's a new picture. He was laying in the back of the car. What in the world was he doing? And just a little bit of news about our silly pets. Recently I found the cat laying on top of my sewing box, where I have some of my baby dolls and stuffed animals. She was laying right on top of them. Oh, and the things she does when she sleeps, and she curls all up and puts her paws over her head. She is so funny. Spunky and Brownie, they almost always sleep side by side. Sometimes Spunky puts her head on Brownie like a pillow. I think it's funny when I can get all 3 of them to sit at the same time and look up to take a picture. It's because they think they're gonna get something. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Brownie's got a tuft of hair that's been growing on the top of her head. I cut it off one time. You know, we've had these dogs for a good while. Look at how little Spunky was. Oh my goodness, she was such a little baby when she first came. And that's been about 4 years ago. Spunky and Countess still like to play together. Sometimes I hear them running through the weeds. It's almost like Countess hides and Spunky tries to find her. Sometimes Brownie tries to get on the game too. We sure like our dogs, but we like grandkids a whole lot better. Nah. Well, recently we got to take a trip to a city called Campo Formoso. The downtown was all decorated for a holiday that's coming up called São João. It's kind of like a country square dance party day. Papa took some pictures with Mama in the little São João village in the middle of Campo Formoso. It was made just for people to take some pictures. We went there because Papa was going to preach in a church on 2 different days, on a Saturday and a Sunday. A pastor from there named Pastor Joedson invited us to his church. Before, he took us to some places around Campo Formoso to see what it was like. It's a very beautiful place, and it has more water than we have here. So everything's much more green. One of the things Papa spoke for, or vovô, I think I called him Papa a few minutes ago, vovô. Anyway, one of the things he spoke for was a couple's banquet. It was really fancy. We had a good time. We had to hurry back from Campo Formoso because Aunt Carol and Uncle Bruce Dennis were leaving Brazil to retire. We wanted to be able to see them off at the airport. Uncle Bruce helped when the boys, Daddy Dalton, Uncle William, and Uncle Grayson, did homeschool with Grandma. He helped me with some math things and science because he used to be a math and science teacher. We really like them, and we're going to miss them too. Well, that's the end of this video letter. I hope you liked it. And don't forget, eu te amo. Hey, somebody send me a message and tell me what you've been up to during your summer vacation. Bye-bye.